But why? This pregnancy has automatically put a full stop to the hustle. For what, 9 months? Once upon a time, in a small village known as Kuru, there lived a small girl named Tamara. Tamara was born into a poor family of farmers. Her father was a local farmer who worked on other people's farmland and got paid for his labor. Her mother was a trader who sold vegetables and other staples at the local market in Kuru. Tamara was the 6th of 8 children. Irrespective of the family size, her father and mother still managed to send 5 of them to school. Tamara, being one of the youngest, was privileged to be among the few select. The other 3 older siblings were sent to various big cities to learn trades. Every evening, unfailingly, her father, Mr. Kwame, would summon all his children around him after their dinner and tell them stories of the city and big people he knew who got rich by going to school and then moving to the city. "Do you know Mr. Udoka?" her father would begin, "the one I worked on his farm last week. He studied hard in school and today he is a very rich doctor in the city. Everyone wants to go to his hospital." All these stories about school and the city fascinated Tamara right from when she was a child. Because of this mounted fascinations, Tamara was very serious in school. She always emerged the best student in any given exam, to the great amazement of her teachers and even the school management. Her class teachers loved her because she was very hardworking, and little Tamara did not hesitate because she had one goal in her head: to make good grades and eventually get to the city. One day, Tamara came back from school in her brown khaki uniform and noticed an unusual shoe in front of her family house. She instantly knew there was a visitor, but the quality of shoes she was staring at was definitely from a person of affluence or intense riches. She went inside and was met by the face of a very beautiful lady, dressed in a very expensive dress. She had some colorful makeup and a beautiful wig on her head. Her fingers were all painted, and she carried a small black bag with gold embroidery on its edges. The young woman smiled on the sight of Tamara and said, "Tamara, my girl, see how big you've grown," she said with so much excitement. Just then, Tamara's mother, who had been in the kitchen, stepped into the living room with a tray of food and kept it in front of the visitor. Tamara greeted her mother and the visitor. "Tamara," her mother began, "this is Aunty Bose. She is your father's younger sister." Tamara's face lit with excitement at the revelation that such a stunning woman was her relation. "She just came from the city to greet your father," her mother included. Tamara's ears widened as she heard the word city. Instantly, Tamara became drawn to Aunty Bose. With her childish demeanor, she asked Bose, "Auntie, will you take me to the city too?" Everyone laughed, and Aunty Bose, like every other aunt would, made Tamara a promise. "If you get good grades in school and an excellent certificate, I'll come and take you to the city," she said with a smile. The adults both laughed at her innocence. But deep within Tamara, a fire had been ignited. This was her own light at the end of the tunnel if she ever wanted to go to the city. After a few hours, Aunty Bose left for the city. She came with loads of gifts for the family, and Tamara's parents were pleased and prayed earnestly for her as she left. Since her encounter with Aunty Bose, Tamara became even more serious in school. She spent little to no time playing. She was always with her books. She was never late for class, and she always topped the class. Aunty Bose equally picked interest in Tamara and started taking care of her school fees to relieve her parents, and from time to time will come to the village to visit them with plenty of gifts. When Tamara turned 18 and was in her final year of high school, she graduated with the best results in her class. The school, her teachers and parents were very proud of her, but her own excitement knew no bounds. Tamara couldn't wait to share the good news with Aunty Bose. "So finally I will be going to the city?" Logically, she thought endlessly to herself. When Aunty Bose got the news, she was excited and happy. She sent some gifts to Tamara for her achievement and congratulated her. A month after her graduation, Aunty Bose came back to the village to take Tamara to the city as she had promised years ago. Her departure from the village was a mix of emotions. She went with the fear of not seeing her parents again, but was excited at the thoughts of starting a new life elsewhere from Kuru, where she had grown up. As their transit bus entered the famous city of Utaka, Tamara could not help but gaze astonishingly at the massive buildings, event centers, flashy cars, and so on. Aunty Bose lived in a massive 2-bedroom apartment. She had virtually all the amenities a woman could dream of. She indeed was rich and classy. It didn't take long for Tamara to get accustomed to the city life. Although she was from the village, she was very intelligent and had gained knowledge of what the city was like from her school. Her primary duty was to clean the house and do other menial house chores, which she carried out effectively. She was excited at coming to her dream locations and fantasized every night of how she would return to the village, to her parents being super rich, and spend money on them. After about 3 months of staying with Bose, Tamara started becoming worried. Bose had not said anything yet about her education or any plans she had for her since she came to the city. She was worried because she felt she was just being used as a house help, as opposed to the main reason she came to the city. However, one thing about Aunty Bose bothered her very deeply. She had never had Bose talk about her work, office, or what she did for a living. Worse still, Bose would leave the house late at night and return very early the next morning. Irrespective of this, she never ran short of money, as she always seemed to have a bountiful supply of it. One faithful evening, on the 5th month of her stay with Bose, Aunty Bose called up Tamara to the living room for a private discussion. She wore a very serious look and was seated on the sofa. When Tamara was seated, Aunty Bose started, "Bose, I know you must have been wondering how I make the money we use to sustain ourselves in this house." She started a little more intense look in her eyes as she stared at Tamara. Tamara nodded. "Well, I'm going to go straight to the point. Instead of giving you fish like I have been doing for the past 5 months, I'm going to teach you how to fish in this city," she stated. Tamara's eyes widened with excitement. She had been waiting for this since she stepped foot in Utaka. In fact, she had been waiting for this moment her entire life. She leaned forward with excitement and all seriousness, as she wanted to pay vast attention to everything Bose will say henceforth. Just then, Aunty Bose stood up and closed the windows and curtains, then assumed her seating position and maintained her look of seriousness. "Tamara," Aunty Bose continued, "I'm into hookup business," she stated abruptly. Tamara was confused. She had never heard of any business called hookup before, so out of sheer curiosity and naivety, she asked, "Aunty, please, what is hookup and how is the business done?" A light smile appeared on Bose's lips. Tamara was indeed innocent, but she would be needing to sacrifice this innocence if she wanted to get a good hold in this city. Let's just say it's a business where men hire you to satisfy them, sexually of course, and they pay you huge sums of money for your service," Bose added indefinitely. Tamara's eyes widened with disbelief as she closed her mouth with her palms. "Oh my God! You mean prostitution?" she added in shock. "Not prostitution," Bose added immediately, almost getting angry. "Prostitutes have to stand on the roadside waiting for men. But in hookup business, these men are the ones to call you up for your service. If you are good, they recommend you to their richer friends, just like every other service-based job is." Tamara could not believe her ears. She was shocked to her bone marrow. Was this what she came to the city to do? She whispered within her soul. "Tamara," Bose cut into her thoughts, "do you like the condition of your parents? Every day your father is moving from farmland to farmland. Your mother is under the scorching sun trying to sell her products. Your siblings are struggling to get by in school. And now this golden opportunity has been placed before you. It's your choice, Tamara. I'll let you think about it and get back to me tomorrow morning," Bose said, and left the utter bewildered Tamara in the living room as she went to sleep. That night, Bose could not sleep. She was overburdened emotionally by the weight of the revelation Aunty Bose just made to her. Even though the evidence of the lifestyle was visible in the kind of lifestyle Bose was living, she did not